The crowd outside King's Market in Ekpoma froze in shock. A white Hilux van with tinted glasses rolled to a stop, its tires kicking up dust. People shaded their eyes, curious. Then, the door opened. A tall woman stepped out, her flowing wrapper bright like the morning sun. Her gold bangles jingled with each step, and her hair tie sat high like a crown. Whispers ran through the crowd. This was Efua Okosun. Not just any woman. She was the richest trader in the region. The queen of the marketplace. The woman who turned bags of rice, yams, and palm oil, different types of vegetable oil and other foods into a fortune so big, even chiefs respected her. Every seller in the market knew her name. Every young girl dreamed of being like her. But today, Efua wasn't here to buy or sell bags of rice, kegs of palm oil or yam. Her eyes, sharp, steady, were locked on something else. A man. He sat on the ground near a pile of broken crates. His shirt was torn, his coat ragged, his bag looked like it carried all the years of his suffering. His beard was wild, his hair unkempt, and his eyes, tired, almost forgotten by life. The man looks up slowly, surprised to see her standing there. "Why are you here, staring at me like that?" the man asked. Efua smiles gently, speaking softly but firmly. "My name is Efua." The man blinks, stunned. I'm Ighedosa." The people around them gasped. Why would a wealthy trader, a woman who owned fleets of trucks and warehouses, stop for a man like him? And then, Efua spoke words that made the whole market go silent. "Ighedosa, I've seen you here before. Several times I've listened to you talk, the way you answer questions, the wisdom in your voice. You are not ordinary. You just need a second chance." She takes a deep breath. Her voice trembles, but her eyes do not. "So I'll ask you something nobody expects. Ighedosa, will you marry me?" The crowd roared in shock. Some shouted, "Is she mad?" Some laughed, covering their mouths. Others pulled out phones to record. Efua, the richest trader in King's Market, just asked a homeless man who comes to the market every day to look for a daily meal to marry her. And then Ighedosa's lips parted. His voice was low, but clear. Ighedosa, looking surprised, waited for a few seconds, maybe to confirm he was not dreaming. "If you really mean that, if you're not mocking me, then prove it. Go inside this market. Buy a ring. Come back, and kneel, like you mean it." The crowd erupted louder. Who does he think he is? Rejecting Efua. Or, this man is mad. But Efua did not flinch. She turned calmly, entered the market, and 5 minutes later, she returned. In her hand was a shining gold ring. And without hesitation, right there in the dust, in front of shocked strangers, Efua Okosun, the trader queen, knelt down. Voice trembling, "Ighedosa, will you marry me?" The world seemed to stop. Ighedosa stared down at her, this woman who had everything, yet still saw something in him. His lips shook. His eyes filled with tears. And then, he whispered one word. "Yes." The crowd screamed. Some laughed, some cried, some clapped. But as Ighedosa slipped the ring on his finger, his heart raced with fear. Because deep inside, he knew this was only the beginning of a story no one would believe. The market was on fire with whispers. Some traders laughed so hard, they held their stomachs. Others shook their heads, in pity, saying, "Efua Okosun has lost her mind." But Efua stood tall, the dust still on her wrapper from kneeling in the dirt. Her eyes stayed on Ighedosa, the forgotten man everyone ignored. And Ighedosa still looked unsure. Ighedosa, shaking his head, "You don't understand, Efua, I have nothing. No money. No house. No family. Look at what I am wearing. If I sit in your car, I'll stain your seats." Efua kneels closer, her voice steady but kind. "Ighedosa, listen to me. I didn't come here for money. I didn't come here for riches. I came for you." Ighedosa swallows hard, his voice breaking. "People are laughing, can't you hear them? A woman like you, marrying a man like me. This is madness. Efua places the ring firmly in his palm. Let them laugh. The market will forget by tomorrow. But me, I will not forget you. Come with me. The crowd leaned closer, hungry to see what would happen. Some shouted, "Say yes, fool." Others mocked, "She's wasting her time." But Efua didn't move. She waited. Finally, Ighedosa closed his fist around the ring. His chest rose and fell, heavy with fear. Ighedosa, whispering, "All right. I'll go with you." The marketplace exploded with noise. Some clapped, some booed, some shook their heads in disbelief. Efua smiled softly, then held Ighedosa's hand. She led him toward the highlex, ignoring the stares, the laughter, the insults. As they reached the car, Ighedosa pulled back, his voice shaking. "Wait. I smell of sweat and dust. Your car will reject me." Efua opened the door anyway, her voice calm but firm. "Ighedosa, my car does not decide who sits in it. I do. And I choose you." Gasps filled the market. And just like that, before the eyes of men, women, and children, Ighedosa, the man who once slept on broken crates and broken planks, sat in the leather seat of a Hilux beside the wealthiest trader in town. The doors closed. The car pulled away. The market buzzed with endless chatter. But for Ighedosa, sitting in silence, one thought burned in his mind. What does this woman truly want from me? The Hilux glided through the streets, leaving the noise of Eguare Market behind. Ighedosa sat stiff in the back seat, his hands clenched tight, his heart racing. For the first time in years, he wasn't walking barefoot on hot sand. He wasn't lying on crates or broken planks in the cold. He was riding in comfort, beside a woman everyone respected. But deep inside, Ighedosa still felt like a beggar. Ighedosa looks down at his torn coat, ashamed. "Efua, this isn't me. I don't belong in this world of yours." Efua turns her head toward him, her voice calm but sharp. "Ighedosa, look at me. You are not a beggar. You are a man who life pushed down, but I will not let you stay there." Ighedosa frowns, his voice rising slightly. "Why me? Out of all the men who chase you, why would you choose the one everyone laughs at?" Efua smiles, her eyes steady. "Because I see what others cannot. I see strength. I see wisdom. I see a man who only needs a chance to shine." The car stopped. Ighedosa looked out the window and chuckled. They were standing in front of the most expensive clothing shop in the city. Golden lights. Glass doors. Suits displayed like treasures. A place Ighedosa had never dreamed of entering. Ighedosa shakes his head, panicking. "No, Efua, I can't go in there. Look at me, people will throw me out before I take one step." Efua steps out of the car, her voice firm. "Then let them try. Today, you walk in as my husband-to-be. And no one dare stop you." The shop attendants froze the moment they saw her. "Efua Okosun," they whispered, bowing respectfully. But their smiles faded when their eyes fell on Ighedosa, dusty, ragged, broken. Whispers followed him as he stepped inside. Yet Efua walked proudly beside him, her hand never leaving his. Efua points to a row of suits. "Bring him the best. Black, navy, white, every color. Shoes, shirts, perfumes. He will try them all." Ighedosa whispers nervously. "This is too much, Efua. I've never worn anything more than rags." Efua leans closer, her voice warm but commanding. "Then today, Ighedosa, we burn the rags. And we dress the man you were always meant to be." Hours passed. The beggar's coat lay forgotten in a corner. And in its place, stood a man transformed. Ighedosa stepped out of the fitting room, wearing a sharp black suit, polished shoes, and a tie that shimmered under the light. The same crowd that once mocked him at the market would not recognize him now. Ighedosa looks at himself in the mirror, his eyes wide, his voice trembling. "Is this me?" Efua's lips curved into a smile. She nodded proudly. "Yes. Ighedosa. This is who you've always been. The world just refused to see it. For the first time in years, Ighedosa's back straightened. He no longer saw a beggar, he no longer saw fetcher of water or load carrier. He saw a man. But deep in his heart, fear still whispered. Because Ighedosa knew, clothes could change his body. But could they truly change his life? 2 weeks later, the city got thrilled with the news. Efua Okosun, the richest trader in the land, was throwing a grand feast. Wealthy men and women from every corner were invited. The finest clothes, golden decorations, music, laughter, the hall shone like a palace. But when Efua arrived, all eyes went on her. They were on the man walking beside her. Ighedosa. The once forgotten beggar and water fetcher. Now dressed in elegance, his beard trimmed, his shoes polished. Yet beneath the suit, his heart pounded with fear. Ighedosa leans toward Efua, whispering nervously. They are staring. I don't belong here, Efua. Efua squeezes his hand gently. Walk with me. They will learn who you are. But the whisper started anyway. Is that not the man from the market? Efua brought a beggar to her feast. What madness is this? Some laughed behind their glasses of wine. Others sneered openly, covering their noses as if Ighedosa still carried the stench of the streets. A rich guest smirks, stepping forward. Efua Okosun, you truly amaze us. All the princes, chiefs, and merchants chase after you, yet you choose this. Laughter ripples through the hall. Ighedosa lowers his head in shame. But Efua lifts her chin high, her voice sharp like a blade. Yes. I chose him. Not for his gold, not for his title. But for the man he is. And one day, you will understand. The hall fell silent for a moment. But soon, the mocking began again. Ighedosa could feel the walls closing in. Every laugh stabbed his chest, every stare burned his skin. His hands trembled on the table. His food remained untouched. Ighedosa whispers harshly, his voice breaking. Why bring me here, Efua? To humiliate me. To let them tear me apart with their laughter. Efua turns to him, her eyes full of quiet fire. No, Ighedosa. I brought you here because they need to see the truth. And you need to see your strength. Ighedosa swallowed hard. But the laughter echoed louder in his mind. He stood suddenly, pushing his chair back. His chest rose and fell, his voice shaking. You all laugh at me because I was broken. Because I slept in dust while you dined in gold. But remember this, dust can rise. Ashes can breathe fire again. The hall froze. Some eyes widened in shock. Others narrowed in anger. But Efua smiled. Because for the first time, Ighedosa's voice carried not shame, but power. Yet, deep inside, Ighedosa feared one thing. That this feast was only the beginning of trials he was not ready for. The night after the feast, Ighedosa could not sleep. The voices of laughter echoed in his mind. The stares. The whispers. The laughter. Even though Efua's hand held his, tightly. His heart was heavy. He had spoken boldly, yes. But behind his words, a storm of fear still lived. Ighedosa sits at the window, staring at the moon. Efua approaches softly. You should rest. Tomorrow we open the warehouse together. I want you beside me. Ighedosa shakes his head, his voice low. Efua, there's something you don't know. Something I've hidden for years. Efua's heart skipped. She sat beside him, her eyes searching his face. What is it, Ighedosa? Speak. Ighedosa swallows hard, his hands trembling. I was not always a beggar. I had a family once. A father who owned lands. A mother who prayed over me. Brothers who looked up to me. He pauses, pain choking his words. But greed and betrayal destroyed everything. His voice broke. Efua touched his hand gently, urging him to continue. My uncle, the one who was meant to protect me, stole it all. He framed me, cast me out, and took the land. Overnight, I lost my name, my home, my honor. The world believed his lies. I became nothing. Tears glistened in his eyes, and Efua's chest tightened with sorrow. For the first time, she saw not just a broken man, but a man carrying scars deeper than anyone could imagine. Efua's voice soft, but steady. Ighedosa, listen to me. You are not nothing. You are more than the pain your uncle caused. You are more than the dust they threw at you. And I swear, as long as I live, I will not rest until your name rises again. Ighedosa turns to her, shocked by her fire. But why, Efua? Why fight for me? She looks into his eyes, her voice trembling with truth. Because I don't just see who you are. I see who you can still become. The night grew quiet. Ighedosa's heart, for the first time in years, felt a flicker of hope. But that flicker came with fear. Because if his uncle discovered Ighedosa was alive and standing again, a storm of danger would soon follow. News spreads faster than fire in a dry field. Within weeks, whispers reached the ears of the man who once betrayed Ighedosa. His uncle. When he heard Ighedosa, the nephew he thought destroyed, was alive, and walking beside Efua Okosun, the wealthiest trader in the land, his blood boiled with fear and anger. The uncle slams his cup against the table, spilling wine. That boy should have rotted in the dust. How dare he rise again? How dare he shame me with his survival? A crooked advisor leans softly and speaks. Master, if Ighedosa truly stands with Efua Okosun, then he is not only alive. He is dangerous. Together, they can take back everything you stole. The uncle's face twists with rage. Then I must strike first. If Ighedosa wants to live like a man again, I will remind him of the beggar he truly is. Meanwhile, Ighedosa was learning to breathe again. With Efua by his side, he helped at her warehouse. He stood beside her at the market. Day by day, the laughter of others began to fade, replaced by whispers of respect. But the storm was already coming. Ighedosa stacks goods, smiling faintly. Efua watches proudly. Look at you, Ighedosa, the same traders who mocked you now greet you with respect. Do you see? The world is changing. Ighedosa sighs, his smile fading. But shadows still follow me, Efua, my uncle will not stay silent forever. Efua touches his arm, firm. Then let him come. We will face him together. That night, as the city slept, a knock thundered on Ighedosa's door. He opened it, only to see men dressed in black, their eyes cold, their hands holding clubs. Before he could speak, they pushed him back, their leader sneering. Our master sends his greetings. He says you've been living too well for a man who once ate from the dirt. Ighedosa's fist tightened, his voice steady but low. Tell your master. I am not the same man he threw away. The leader laughs harshly. Then prove it, if you can survive what's coming. The fight erupted in the night. Wood splintered. Glass shattered. Ighedosa, though outnumbered, fought like a man who refused to crawl again. But as he bled and staggered, one truth became clear. His uncle would stop at nothing to bury him once more. And unless Ighedosa found strength beyond his scars, he risked losing not only his new life, but also the woman who believed in him. That brings us to the end of part 1. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. African Folktale by Olga, because part 2 is coming very soon. Make sure to like, comment, and share this video so more people can enjoy it too.